You're definitely going to want to see this. I posted that video just 8 days after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Someone was on the rooftop of the Woodbury building minutes before the shooting, but somehow that building was never treated like a crime scene. Now listen to this.
Wasn't there also a bullet found on another building?
I believe an unfired bullet had been found on another building at some point during my time there on September 10th. Yes.
Which building was that, sir?
I don't recall.
Was that considered a scene that was worth preserving?
It was not. My recollection is that that was accounted for as an ejected cartridge from an officer who had cycled his rifle.
Okay, I thought you said it was an unfired bullet, and now you're saying it was a cartridge?
When a weapon is cleared, an officer would make his rifle ready, which would chamber around.
Oh, I got you.
My understanding was that that's how that was accounted for.
So an officer claimed that bullet belonged to him or her?
That's my recollection, is that was how it was accounted for.
And when was that accounted for?
I don't know specifically.
Do you remember what type of bullet that was?
I don't.
Was it a 30-06? Do you remember?
I don't.
Okay. Do you know where that bullet is now?
I don't.
Okay.
They found a bullet on another rooftop. Didn't bag it. No, didn't secure the scene. Of course not. And then lost this crucial evidence during one of the most high-profile investigations in years. Do you think that's even possible? And it only gets worse. Remember this guy? He showed up at UVU in a lab coat with a gun, but he didn't go to the Low-C building. No, instead, he ran to the Woodbury building. But for some reason, all charges against him were dropped. Like it never even happened. And of course, here's where things get even stranger. Tyler Robinson wasn't even alone.
Yes.
And do you remember that the Nobles told you that the driver of the vehicle was bald?
I do remember that being in the report, yes.
And you didn't mention that today when you were talking about that Ring camera, did you?
I did not.
And did they also tell you there were 3 other people in the car?
Yes, I believe they thought that was the case.
Okay.
This, of course, isn't shocking. Even the first witness described someone completely different.
We met an electrician working near the university who says someone matching that description approached a co-worker at this job site.
He had black sunglasses, he had a black COVID mask, he had a black trench coat, black cargo pants, and he was wearing a small backpack, and he also had long, greasy black hair. The guy said, "Someone's been shot."
Looking back on it, did that person think that was the shooter now?
The guy was already trying to leave. And so we were then shown a picture by the sheriff at the time, and the excavator said that it matched.
And then there's the video of someone who looked a lot like Lance Twiggs. The same guy with immunity, the same guy whose DNA was found all over the evidence. This is the scariest data center theory ever.
The head of America's largest utility is issuing an urgent warning right now that you could lose power next year due to the rise in data centers and the lack of energy in America's electricity grid.
I know that probably made you angry, but here's what we really should be asking. Why do we suddenly need so many data centers? Why do they require so much electricity? Why do they need millions of gallons of clean drinking water? And why are so many being built in strategically important locations? You're not gonna like the answer. It involves those trillion-dollar underground city projects. Maybe they just found a new way to expand that network.
The underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more.
In the United States?
In the United States, on all over the world. From 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Solaire Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. We systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess, this is totally a guess, of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
It's terrifying what Meta is doing to your drinking water.
So apparently, Meta's data center in Wyoming has been pumping drug-resistant bacteria into the town's water system. It's in Cheyenne, where a Meta affiliate company called Goat Systems runs an 800. See, before a data center powers on, it floods its cooling system with water. They call it a fill and flush. Goat Systems flushed that water into Cheyenne's public pipes, and it was carrying something. City workers found it by accident as they were running routine tests for fecal contamination. They hit a pathogen that they never saw. The city's water manager said this isn't something they normally test for. And after a long process, they found out it was Cupriovitis gaillardi. It's a rare, multi-drug resistant bacterium. Infections are extremely rare, and it's been related to 10 deaths, with 3 of those deaths being immunocompromised children. And one review found a 31%. The city traced it back to Meta's discharge and ruled Goat Systems in severe non-compliance. And beyond that, they banned fill and flush discharge from every single data center connected to the city's water system. The people living next to these data centers are done. Public anger at data centers is increasing, and towns are starting to reject them. And every time you use ChatGPT, watch TikTok, or watch a YouTube video, it runs through a building like this.
First, they take away our land. Then they contaminate our water, all the while hitting us with strange frequencies of sound. But if you rise up, Larry Fink from BlackRock will put you behind bars forever.
But now, because of drone warfare, we have to relook at all forms of security and the need for rebuilding the GCC region, to rebuild it so that it's going to be in a position where it's not going to be obstructed by drone warfare. So many more things are going to have to be underground. But even here in the United States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these 1 gigawatt data centers, how do we make sure we're not protecting those $50 billion, $75 billion investments? We have to relook at everything because of the role of drone warfare. Right now we're looking at it internationally, but one of my concerns is, could it be a domestic terrorism using a $3,000 drone? So all of these things are actually opportunities, not problems. It's going to require, as we said, trillions of dollars of capital. Governments cannot build these out alone. They don't have the wherewithal. And 2, their deficits are starting to be mounting. And we spend too little time talking about the U.S. deficits and other countries' deficits.
Why are they lighting a fire on the moon? While some people are making fun of NASA, others think this is just another way of stealing money from the people. After all, there are folks who don't even think the moon is natural.
Do you believe that we have landed on the moon?
The moon is a massive story because I don't think the moon is what we would call natural. I think it was brought here, and I've picked up different cultural beliefs and stories and accounts which have this common theme that the moon has not always been there, and that actually the inside of the moon is where it's all going on. It's not going on the surface, it's going on inside. And I think that's where a lot of manipulation of the earth comes from. And so the moon is a massive center for this whole control of humanity, in my view. And there are many endless elements of it. There's so many anomalies to do with the moon. It's ridiculous that don't make any sense. And have we been to the moon? You get deeper into how they did it and all the background to it. Have they been in more modern craft? Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe the whole thing's just a hoax. We can't know for sure, but certainly from the evidence that I've seen over a long period of time, like evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence, the moon is a massive center for manipulation of human society. And there are what is dominated and controlled by non-humans.
Do you think it's too out there, or do you think it's obvious when you look at all the actors working for NASA?
With Donald Trump, NASA's back. Tomorrow, this mission's going off. The 127th mission to the space station. Mike and Sonia are the two of the four American astronauts that are on that flight. They're right out of central casting. But what happened, Sean? You talked about the moon, and I want to get to that. But on every single mission that we send up into space, whether it's Blue Origin or SpaceX or others, we keep learning and evolving.
Necessarily just Earth. It was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. Uh-oh. So I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned everything that this journey has yet to teach me.
Do you see how she forgot her lines in the middle of her speech? This should show and tell you all that you need to know about these people. They are not astronauts. They are actor-nauts.
This is horrifying. First, it was the tick invasion. Then came the cannibal crickets. Now, millions of flying ants are swarming people, and they're everywhere. What's strange is that this happened in the UK, but around the same time, several Western countries were dealing with major insect outbreaks of their own.
I had no idea it was this bad in Ontario right now for these ticks. Ontario is seeing a major spike in tick activity this year, with more than 8,700 tick reports submitted so far in 2026. That's a 50% increase compared to the same time last year. Reports of black-leg ticks, the species that can carry Lyme disease, have jumped nearly 73% in Ontario, the highest increase in the country. Look at these stats. When you compare it by the provinces, it's actually mind-blowing. Look at Ontario, far and away the largest province with the most reported ticks, and look at the year-over-year jump and increase. Like specifically Ontario, the jump in 2026 is absolutely massive. And this is the concerning part, is the Lyme disease cases in Canada. Look at how much it's accelerating and jumping up right now. And Lyme disease is a serious issue.
Coincidence or just part of the grand script?